Belizean black fruit cake, stewed oxtails, warm Creole bread. Simply the best Belizean dishes you can make at home. Watch. Just add flour, baking powder, and milk in a small bowl. Mix, roll flat, then deep fry for a fry jack that is so versatile that it goes perfect with everything. Start the day off right with my simple Belizean Johnny cakes that can be made in the oven or air fryer. All these recipes can be found in my Belizean cookbook Beans and Rice Volume 2. Get a copy today only at www.bearpantryshow.com. Shop safely and securely at www.bearpantryshow.com. Welcome to Bear Pantry Talk. This is the sister channel to the Bear Pantry Show. This is where you're going to find honest reviews, exciting unboxings, do-it-yourself projects, and engaging commentary. Hello. I think I'm getting better at coming live. I'm starting to enjoy it a little bit more. I still couldn't set up the way I wanted to set up this way so you guys could see out the window because Cora is laying her big behind right across the floor in front of that little fan because the fan, when you put ice in it, it feels like the AC, right? So you guys like my hat? Hi, Kathy. Yes, Kathy, please don't text us while you're driving, okay? Hi, Myrna. Let me show you my outfit before we get the day started. Let's see how I have to step around this chair. So I'm wearing one of my little straight fitting skirts that I made the other day and the hat. And I don't know why when I was sewing the pattern, I thought that the hat and the skirt was exactly the same pattern, but they're not. They're close enough, so we not gonna complain. All right. So I'm so excited. And I'm glad I did my prediction yesterday that VP Harris was going to pick Tim Walz. I am so excited for this ticket. I went and I put the sign in my cart already to buy my little sign for $8, but it doesn't come until August 14th through like that week, that whole week. So the reason that I liked this guy from the jump, I didn't know who he was. I didn't even know that he was a member of Congress from I want to say like from '07 or '09 right up to 2019. I didn't know all of that. I just knew that when they put up all the people that she was going to pick from, he jumped out the gate, started to attack and defend and show who he was. And I liked his vibe right away. No slight to Josh Shapiro. I'm sure he would have done a good job too, but he comes with a little bit of baggage with all that thing that they're talking about. Oh my God, there was a sexual allegation thing from one of his friends and he didn't handle it well. And then they were going to make a big deal out of that. So that's why I didn't want them to pick him. And then also the young Gen Zers, because I go to Gen Zers, so everything, the Gen Zers are like, nah, we don't want him. He's too closely aligned with Israel, which he can't stand Netanyahu. But still, the Gen Zers don't see it like that. They don't see a distinction, right? I look cool, Myrna. So let me give you the update about Joe. We had a doctor's appointment today at 2:50. We got there at 2:30 because you have to check in a little bit earlier than your appointment time. And he got seen pretty quickly. We didn't see our regular doctor because you could never get an appointment with her. She always booked. So we just saw some random other GP or whatever. And Joe has a growth right here. So this here is his bone for his shoulder. And then there's this growth right here that's like maybe the size of half of a lemon. And Joe said he showed it to our doctor before, a couple years ago, in the middle of the pandemic. And it was really super small, maybe like the size of what? What would you guys know? I want to say a crabble, but you guys might not know a crabble. It was small. And she's like, I feel like it's just a little cyst. Watch it. It may go away on its own or, come back if it gets bigger. But they'll tell you that. And they don't worry about you after you've left. They don't know if it got bigger. You have to tell them it got bigger. And so all of a sudden, we're doing the garage sale on Friday. And I looked at John. I go, what's that? Something looks like inflamed, right? And he says, oh, it's that thing. All of a sudden, it just started to get real big. And if I do like this and try to do a stretch like that, it hurts. And if you press on it real hard, it hurts. I'm like, child, don't let these things grow on you like that. You got to get seen. So I called and I made an appointment. And I told you guys yesterday that they didn't want to give me an appointment till September the 24th. But the appointment lady said, I'm going to have a nurse call you and she's going to try to get you a better appointment. And she did. She got us one for the 6th, which is today. And I barely called Friday. So this is amazing. And he got seen, and the doctor says, I'm going to order an ultrasound, not an x-ray, but an ultrasound, and go home and wait for them to call you to come in for this ultrasound. And then when I get the report back, I'm going to write to you to tell you what it is. And if it is a benign cyst, which is what he suspects, I'm going to refer you out to surgery. Now, we don't know if it's a cyst yet. That's what we're thinking it is. And if it is that, then we don't know if the surgery is going to be something as minor as aspirate with a needle, because, you know, they still call that surgery, because once they break skin, it's surgery. Or if they're going to like scalpel it out or what. But this is the type of stuff that I like to watch. But they never want me in the room. He had something before. He had something before, like right here. A big old knot, like he was growing a horn. And that thing bothered me and bothered me. He had walked into the cabinet one time too many when we used to have cabinet above the peninsula. And that thing bothered me. And I'm like, Joe, go get seen, go get seen. And finally he went and got seen, and they said it was a cyst, and they had to cut it out with a scalpel. It wasn't full of fluid. And he had a big indent there for a while and some stitches. And then, you know, now it looks normal, you know, but that happened probably back in 2015, thereabouts. He had that. Then he has a big old growth here too that feels like a bone. The doctor says that's a ganglion cyst, and that will go away on its own. He's had it there for years. It hasn't gone away yet, but we're going to pray it away, okay? You say it's a polar cyst. Okay, I'm going to look that up when I'm done, Myrna. Hi, Bessie, my darling. Thank you, Bessie, for coming in and thumbs it up, girl. I saw that you sent me an email too. I'm going to go take a look at it. I opened it already and I read it, and I know it's a video that I have to go watch. I hope it plays. So when I went to bed last night, I told you, I said, look, whoever VP Harris picks, come wake me and tell me. I said, but you're not going to remember these people's name. I said, you're not going to remember to tell me if it's Shapiro. So if it's Shapiro, you come and tell me it's the Jewish guy, right? I said, if it's Walz, tell me the guy that has the name like the dance. Then he goes, is that how it's spelled? I'm like, no, but we black people, like Jermaine said, is going to put a T in there. So he came and he goes, he picked the one, she picked the one where it's the name of the dance. And I was so excited because I think this guy has energy. Yes, he looks older than his age. He's 60. He turned 60 in April, and she's going to be 60 in October. So they're both 60-year-olds running for this ticket. And, you know, I really don't care when people go, oh, he looks old. Whatever. He's got his right mind. He's excited. Somebody in somebody's chat said we're going to say Maha, make America. No, not Maha. Yeah, Maha, make America happy again. Then somebody said Mala, make America laugh again. You know, for the Belizeans in the room, MAGA is not a good word. Not just because they have it, but in Belize, in Creole, MAGA means you're emaciated. You're so skinny to the point that you don't look good. That's what MAGA is. Then they say, sorry for MAGA dog turn wrong bite you. When you're sorry for a skinny dog that's starving, they're going to turn around and bite you. So they remove it with the sack. So do you think there's fluid in there? What the hell's a polar cyst? No, she won't let us look. Hi, Diane. I didn't see you coming, my darling. I'm really excited now to do this. Did Sarita call me back? I'm really excited now to do this. Okay, I didn't see you. Let's see if I could find you. Yeah, you didn't say anything yet, so I can't see you, sir. So I'm hopeful. You understand? Like I told you guys before, when it comes to politics, I'm not the person that's going to bring up politics to somebody that I'm sitting next to at a party or whatever. But when it comes to politics, I never get into that, nah, 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 I got you beat, whatever, because I want the best person that's going to take us forward and not take us backward into the 1930s. Because that foolishness where people are like, I'm anti-vax, I want no vaccine. It's like, where are you going? Back to the 1930s when there were no vaccines? I lost my aunt, the one that I was named after, in 1959 because she didn't get the vaccine for diphtheria, and it's not because my grandma was anti-vax. They didn't have it available in Belize at the time. You know, so I always think about that, and I always take these vaccines. Hey, Sar. Well, look at you looking all cute, girl. I like you. I like your profile pic. Look at Sarita new name on YouTube, guys. Tropical Gal. Check she out. Check she out. If you guys need prayer, you better ask Sarita to pray for you because Sarita is the goat. When she prays, stuff happens. All right, stuff happens, and right away too. Right away too. Yeah, so I'm always messing with her. I called you by mistake on FaceTime because I just kind of went into the last call that I got from you and I pressed call, and then the last call I got from you was the FaceTime. Well, that wasn't the last one, but one of the last ones was the FaceTime call that you did on Saturday. Hi, Miss Lucky. Hi, Miss Lucky. Sarita is the one that told me, Barbara, you need to freaking talk about politics because you follow up these people, you know all their names, and you know all the stuff. So when it comes to Governor Tim Walz, I guess they're already attacking, saying that he had like a DUI or something back in the olden days, like 30 years ago. And I'm like, so if you didn't kill nobody and you did what you were supposed to do when you get your first DUI, you have to pay fees, go to class, yada yada. And he's been sober for over 30 years. I heard a rumor, and this is a rumor because I don't know if it's true, that his two children that he has, a boy and a girl, the girl named Hope, is from in vitro. So he's gonna make sure all those things stay safe, right? I didn't need in vitro, praise God, but I feel for the people who need it, and who am I to stop them from having a family that way, right? Hi, Simply Smarter Shopping. How are you today? What forms what forms a hair follicle? Myrna, what we talk about that cyst? We were gonna look up what the hell was a polar cyst. Let's look up what is a polar cyst. We're gonna look up things in real time sometimes. What is a polar cyst? What is a polar cyst? Did you spell it wrong? Maybe it says pilar or pilar, Pilar. It doesn't have no polar, so I think maybe you spelled it wrong. Old skin cells and keratin benign begin to pile up under the surface of your skin. Joe is always susceptible to growths, so we gonna bind that in the name of Jesus. And so is Josh. He had one on his finger when he was a kid, and he got it removed when he was 6. And I remember Joshua didn't want to do PE for like 2 months. Anything to not do PE. Yes, yes, yes. So I got up and I got dressed because I went to the post office this morning, and then I went with Joe to that appointment because I wasn't going to go. And Sarita said, Gal, you better go because you're going to ask questions, okay? He did a good job asking questions, Osar. He did, but I don't think he would have asked any questions if I wasn't there, all right? So he went to fix his hearing aid, not the aids, but the app on the hearing aid. He screwed it up somehow, and he went for them to remedy that. Then he went to the gym. His blood pressure was amazing. Like, I think it was like 121. It was 73. When you see this man got blood pressure on the, over 73, I said, Lord have mercy. So, Myrna, you think they'll let me watch? I like to watch stuff like that. I drool. Yeah, I would like to watch them take it out. They removed one out of one of my breasts when the kids were little, and it was full of fluid, and they just took a needle and
You took this guy out.
Huh?
Remember
Yeah, when they sliced it, Joshua still has the scar.
Yep.
You and Daddy have that penchant for things to grow on. So what do you guys think about this democratic thing? Look how, this thing just shows you how quickly life could change on a dime. And people say that usually when there's a death in the family, it's like, oh my God, in a flash, things change. And that's true, right? But it also happens with other things too, good things. Like if one thing moves out of place, a whole lot of other things fall into place that would have never fallen into place. I always say this about that young couple that's on YouTube. The guy's in the wheelchair, handsome white guy, beautiful black girl. And they got together and they married. They moved from Virginia, wherever they lived originally, and they live in the LA area now. I feel like they live in Glendale, from when I see their surrounding when they come out their front door, but I'm not for sure. But in any case, people tell them, but I feel like people tell them this rudely, that if he wasn't injured and in the wheelchair, because he got injured at age 15, it's Roland Cole, that one, that he would have never married her. And I think they're saying that for the black white thing. Oh, you would have been with your little white chicks and you would have never married her, yada yada. But I feel the same way they do, but for a different reason. I feel like he probably would have never met her on his path in life. He met her at the place where he was taking therapy, physical therapy, and she wasn't his therapist or anything like that, but that's where they met. And they started to talk, and she treated him like he was a human being, not like an invalid in a wheelchair. And that's what he liked about her. It's like, oh, she doesn't see the wheelchair, she just sees me. And he's really funny and really smart, right? And so they got together and they got married. And I feel like what the people say is true. They probably would have never met because he was on a different trajectory at age 15. He was a football player, all this type of stuff, and he was going to go another path unless God still wanted to circle her back around and let them meet now. But that's how I feel. So by this man getting tapped to be VP, he's opened up the opportunity for his lieutenant governor from Minnesota to take over. And I hear that's a woman and she is indigenous. She's a native. I was like, oh my God. And they say first native that's going to be governor from Minnesota. So look at how things go, you know? Only one thing has to move out of place for a lot of other things to fall into place. And that's why whenever Jada brings up, like, if we could go back in time and bring back somebody from the dead, who would you bring back? I always say my mom because I miss my mom terribly. But then what all things might not have moved out of place after that? I don't know, right? I don't think my brother would have married that chick he's married to if my mom were alive. He wouldn't have had the two kids he have with her. He wouldn't have been acting like an asshole like he is right now, where he hates me for whatever the hell reason I don't know. So those things would have not happened if my mom were alive. You know what I mean? Myrna, she's still up on this damn sis. I will definitely update you guys. I have your phone numbers too. I can always text. You know what's going to. Did B make it? Did B forget? I told B that I'm going to be on time because I told her if I was going to be late, I would let her know so she can come back and tell you guys. Because sometimes I don't get network when I'm over at Kaiser, right? Yeah. So well, this is going to happen at the hospital, Myrna, because we go to Kaiser. So this is going to happen at the hospital itself. And last time when they took it out of his forehead, they didn't let me go in. I waited in a little waiting room all by my lonesome. They went for like an hour. They took it out. He came back with a big old band-aid. Not as big as the maxi pad that one had my ears, but you know. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm really happy. I wanted Pete Buttigieg, but even like I said, besides the gay thing, because a lot of these evangelicals will not vote because Pete is gay. Besides that, Pete's already in the administration, and people look at that as, oh my God, somebody from the administration, oh, they're elitist, they're this, they're that, blah, blah, blah. So it's better for her to pick, you know, some homegrown, corn-fed person where people can relate to the person. You know what I mean? Share it too. Oh, you're talking about the live? Yeah, we want to keep doing these lives at 4 o'clock every day. And even like if I talk about that girl and I want to talk about her, Queen of Kings, I'm not going to put her name in my title because I don't need that quarrelsome group of people she has behind her to come flag my channel and take my little channel down. And I talk with you guys about it just to express my frustration about this girl. And of course, I can stop. I can stop watching her any moment, walk away and act like I never knew she existed. But she's a train wreck that's going to happen sooner than later. And so that's why I keep watching. When I go on the other girl, Tasha's live, I don't bash that girl at all, Queen of Kings. I just keep the facts straight because sometimes they don't have the facts straight. Like, for instance, when the mom said that I was so happy to go to her wedding with the white guy, Brett, and we all went to Vegas and everybody was happy to go because that was the first wedding in the family. All right? Meaning of her 6 kids. That was the first wedding. So how the hell was she married to the first baby daddy? The first little boy's dad. So then you hear the story now. The man and wife said they were common law. I'm like, is common law still a thing? Because I thought you had to like cohabitate for like 10 years and make picnic and all kind of thing for you to be common law. I was like, girl, shut up. You weren't even married to this guy. He was a baby daddy and you were just a baby mama, right? So I don't like what she did. She went and flagged my little Tasha's channel 3 times. Sorry, I found out what happened, right? 3 times she flagged her channel for copyright stuff. So no, the copyright stuff that she's saying is that that girl plays her videos, which that girl does play her videos, but she's playing it while she's reacting to it. So you can do that. There's no set amount of stuff that you can really play from somebody's content. People say, oh, it's 6 seconds. Oh, it's 8 seconds. It's three. No, there's no seconds that you can play unless you're transforming it. And I think Tosh does a really good job when she's on the live to transform it. But when she makes prepared videos, I'm not sure if what she does is enough because she'll put on a little white voice and go, uh-huh, uh-huh, oh, wow. And she just does that. I don't think that's a reaction enough, but I don't know. YouTube is going to have to be the one to say, right? So I think she should have paused the video and talk and said, look what she's doing here. And look at this part. Look, I will never show these people footage. I just play it safe. I don't play nobody music unless Jada gave me the music because I know she'll never copyright it. And I don't play people footage anywhere. I won't even show them in a still shot because I don't want to get copyright strike because that's bloody foolishness. You can't come back from that. It's a stress. So they tapped Tosh 3 times. She did it. Tosh showed the email that she got from YouTube that she did it. She's hateful and spiteful to do that because a lot of people, at least 15 channels are talking about her, including me. But she goes after Tasha all the time. But she goes after her because there's educated people in that chat that are actually trying to save those 4 children from her, because she's crazy. So last night when I went to bed, she popped up in my feed. I wasn't looking for her. I usually look for my psychics at nighttime when I'm going to go to sleep. And they were cutting them. Well, she was braiding the oldest boy's hair, and she was doing it rough, man. The boy was crying. And they were cutting the second boy's hair. And she had this white man with the clippers cutting the boy hair. And he was effing up that hairline, man. So she grabbed the clippers and she started to shave the boy against the grain. I mean, she was doing bloody foolishness. I said that before they know it, the little boy gonna be bald, going to school for the second day today, looking like a whole fool. But somehow they cleaned it up. He looks okay. I'm like, man, we are really finicky about hair over here. When I was little, I remember my mom and dad did not allow any old people to put their hand in my brother's hair or my hair. And later on, my sister, because, when they're little and they cut the hair too much, right? They were really strict. And I'm still that way with my hair. I don't go to any hairdresser. Jada cuts my hair now. I mean, when she was young, I used to find like one little Mexican lady that was good. And if I see she touched my hair started to grow, I say, okay, she has the anointing. We feel like people have anointing to grow hair. You know what I mean? And I didn't like that Brett was in there like, you don't know how to cut this boy hair. You don't have that kind of hair. But they never cut the third baby hair, though, which is his first child. They never cut his little golden locks. Leave it. No, he's beautiful. Leave it like that. But why cut up the other picnic hair, right? So that girl do too much. She went on Tasha K for an interview, and she feels like that was a good thing for her. But I don't think it was a good look for her. She looked pretty when she was on Tasha K. She didn't look raggedy like the way she's looking right now. But Tasha K was dragging her and clowning her. Tasha K came on looking just like her. No makeup, kept on putting chapstick. That girl wouldn't even wear chapstick until the little group that belongs to Tash would say, girl, go buy Carmax. Why your lips always dry, right? And so everybody in Tasha K, a lot of people in Tasha K chat was really, really being rude to her and dragging her. And I don't even think she knows the difference. When Tasha K was teaching her about chess versus checkers and saying, oh, on the chessboard, the king doesn't move. The queen is the one that moves around to protect the king at all costs. And that's what you needed to do. Why would you put your man out there and put him on blast like that for the whole world to see? Because you've been writing down black men this whole time saying they ain't ish, right? When she's got 4. I'm going to say 4 black sons because I'm not going to count them pick me as no biracial because all of them have a lot of race in them, okay? So they, oh, by the way, before I forget, I sat down and did the Ancestry thing for Joe and me and the kids again to see. They're showing what each child got from each of us, yada, yada, that stuff. But it's hard to put it on the computer because they didn't give me the report, like Joe and then the 3 kids, because by the time I got the Joe account, they had stopped giving that for free. They want you to join the membership. So I have me and the 3 kids like this. So I had to sit down with paper and write it all out. And it's very interesting because Joe has 4 in him. Joe has African, Asian, European, and Jewish. So Joe is like 67% African, I think 20 something percent, 23 or 26% Asian, which is the Indian that's in him from his mom, and then like 5% European and 1% Jewish. We don't even know if that 1% count because I don't think I've seen that before in his makeup. So then two of the boys got the Jewish. Joshua got 1%, Jory got 2%. Jada didn't get none of the Jewish. But Jory has more African in him than the other two kids. I think like if Jory has 48%, Jada has 46, and Joshua has 45. They're pretty close. And then the European, I think they all have 32. Jada might have a little bit less, like 26. I think Jada might have, I have to go look at the paper, like 26 or 24%. And that's because Jada has a lot of Asian in her, like Joe. If Joe has 26% Asian, Jada has like 16. Jada has more Asian than Joshua. Carla always laugh at that because Joshua looks so Indian, right? Jada has more Asian in her than Joshua does. And then Jada has, what do you call it thing? The indigenous. All three of the kids have the indigenous from my side of the family, but just a little bit, like 6 or 7%. I have 15% indigenous and 23% African and 62% European. So it's just really a really neat blend. So the boys have 4 because they have the African, Asian, European, and the Jewish, right? They have more Asian than European, I think. No, they have more European than Asian. Jada has more European than Asian too, but her European got really diminished because of so much Asian that's in her. And Jada has 3, right? She doesn't have the Jewish. So she has the African, European, and Asian. Joe has 4, the boys have 4, Jada has 3, and I have 3. It's weird. So yeah, I don't feel like this girl is doing right by these kids. And it's not my problem for me to have to call nobody and tell Panshi. I'm just gonna watch. I'm just gonna watch because there's other people in other people where they know how this thing operates and they know what warrants CPS and yada yada. I'm not getting involved in that. I'm just watching from a distance and see how this girl got to 1 million subscribers. People say she bought subscribers. I really feel like she did not. But they're saying yes, she did because when she go live, she only has, a few people come in her live, like 200 or 300 people are in her live. When Tasha K went live with 1 million plus subscribers, Tasha K had like 8,000 people in her live. Well, because Tasha K, I was going to say because Tasha K is controversial. That girl's controversial too. But the reason why I'm thinking she didn't buy is because I didn't buy no subscribers. And at my cooking channel, I get the same amount of subscribers, 11. I mean, people come in the live, 11 to 15. Sometimes I have 30. And I have 108,000 over there. And I didn't buy nary a 1. So I don't want to judge people like that and go, oh, yeah, she definitely bought because there's not enough people coming in her live. Some people are just busy. Some lives are just boring. Like, look at this. We're just talking, right? I don't know if it's Maya. I wish I could find out because you could see my mom's grandmother in one of these ancestry picture that I have. She looks totally native. She's dark skinned and you could see she looks native, but we don't know what it is. And I don't know how to trace that back because I think when it comes to indigenous people and Native Americans, you have to go by what they write in the Bible. Like, oh, great grandma wrote that this baby was born at such and such a time. And then I don't think they do like a blood test. I wish they would do a blood test because they said my 15% is North America, Central America, and South America. And it's divided 5, 5, and 5. So who the hell knows? Who in the heck knows? But I wish that I could find out. That would be very interesting. And a lot of people get pissed off with us whenever we want to find out those parts. Like when Joe wants to find out more about the Indian heritage, they're like, oh, you didn't even look at his African heritage. Well, we already know. They already said what all parts of Africa he came from. And we already know that from his parents. You know what I mean? We don't. The Indian part is still a mystery to us because Joe's mother's mother died when Joe's mom was only like 3 or 5 years old. So she couldn't tell them a lot of their heritage. You know what I mean? So it is so hot today, guys. It's 107 degrees. I really wish that I could go to the beach before my birthday. But my birthday is when? Next week, Wednesday? I don't think Joe's going to go back to back like that. He's going to go, what? We have to go again? What? So I paid the registration for the Tahoe. yesterday, and I was screaming because I made 138 at the garage sale, and the Tahoe was 152 to pay for that. But at least I had majority of it right to put in there. So at least that's paid. That's going to come sometime in August, and we're just going to slap that sucker on, and then we're good to go. Now I have to pay for my website. My host Wix, they do this thing every year where they want to charge me $400 or $500 a year for my website, and I'm like, no, put me on monthly. So the monthly is $36 a month. So every time me and Gary do that, they come back after the first payment and they go, hey, you want 50% off? Then take it down to $18 a month, but you have to pay for the 12 months up front. And so I have to find money, 200 something dollars to pay for that up front. What's mysterious about my heritage? Hi, Hazel, darling. Hazel, I'm glad you came in. How do you feel about this ticket? Did you want Shapiro? Did you want somebody different? Because you guys know I wanted Tim Walz, right? Because I feel I like his personality. I like his vibe. I like his sense of humor. And I feel like he'll bring a lot of laughter and joy to this campaign because I'm tired of doom and gloom. I don't know if you all are like me, but I don't like to listen to prophets and prophetesses when they prophesy over me because they always prophesy friggin' doom and gloom. There's just a glimmer of hope in the middle, and the rest of it is dead. I'm like, oh my God, why? Don't even, when I used to go to church and the prophets and them came through, I'm like, don't even prophesy to me. Keep it moving the next direction. And every time I had that attitude, that's exactly who they want to prophesy over is me. Me, Joe, and the kids, if they were there with us. I'm like, just go away. It's just going to be depressing. I'm going to have to go through a lot of hardships before whatever you tell me come to pass. Just go away and leave me alone. Let me continue my path on my own. So here's the what did you think? And we're right at about half hour 2. I was watching the speech before I came live, and it was a really, really good speech that they were doing. And I pray for their safety as they go along. I pray for the safety from the other team too, because I don't feel like you should put your life at risk just to run for office. That's scary. I always tell you, I want to beat fair and square. I'm not that type of person that's going to be in a sporting event with you and I want to win by default. Nah. He does check a lot of boxes, right? Yeah. I feel like Shapiro would have been a good pick too because he's a go-getter, but he had some baggage. And they were going to find a way to exploit that baggage. And Kamala don't need to be explaining. In politics, if you're explaining, you're already losing. If you're explaining things away, you are already losing, even if your explanation is a good one. That thing about the friend that did the sexual harassment and the girl sued and then the girl got paid off and she left and they're like, he covered it up. He didn't look at it good enough. We don't need that. Wait. Kathy, whenever his commercials come on, they probably are playing his commercial because of the title. Just put it on mute and let it play. Let me tell you why. I still get paid and he still lose money because he still has to pay YouTube for the ad. Okay, I learned that from the psychics. Because somebody was like, I'm tired of seeing these Trump commercials and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, let it play. He still, even if you let it play a few seconds, he still has to pay Google the money. And Google still has to give me my little 55%. So let it play. Just put it on mute so you don't have to hear his voice. Is down to earth and positive vibes. I like that. Yes, I agree, Myrna. Yeah, and I'm putting my birthday wish list underneath the videos. I put it underneath the video for today that's gonna pop up at 5 o'clock. I'm not gonna premiere that video because when I'm done with this live, I'm gonna go feed my dog and feed myself. Today, what we had for lunch, Jada made ceviche, and I just put it on 2 pieces of soft tortilla, and I had soft taco ceviche. And so I want to go eat something with some vegetables before bed. Yeah, let it play because I still get paid. Just don't listen to it. I don't listen to his voice. Even when I'm looking at other content creators and they're playing stuff and he's talking, I turn that shit off. There's this guy that I watch every now and again, Brian Tyler or Taylor? Tyler, I think. Brian Tyler Cohen. His last name is just like Michael Cohen. And I usually go to Midas Touch first for my news, and then I'll go see what Brian's saying, right? And then I watch that guy Luke also. But Luke tends to take too long to get to the point. He's handsome. He's pretty to look at. But Lamb, hurry up. Get to the point. So Brian wrote a book And I guess he's having an event. And I was in his live today because he put that he was going to be live when Kamala Harris made her announcement. And he says, I bet you nobody from LA is in this live because we're up so early at 6 o'clock. And I'm like, hey, I'm from Fontana. And he goes, are you going to come to my LA event? So I got to go see what the hell this LA event is. If you have to pay to get in, what is it? You know, is it just about his book? Is it about politics? Is it about YouTube? I don't know what it's about. Yeah, I like Midas Touch. And it only prepped against Shapiro or his team doesn't like it. I think. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like Shapiro would have still done a good job, but the Gen Zers didn't want him. Like David Hagen, those kids. Plus that first psychic Oracle of Whimsy, she saw that some scandal was going to come out against Shapiro, and she goes, it's going to be nothing, but they're going to blow it out of proportion. So I hope she doesn't pick him for that reason. And then she goes, otherwise he would have been a good pick, right? And so I think with Tim Walz, I like that he's for teachers because, you know, my son is a whole teacher now, which he's not working as a teacher because they ain't no jobs as a teacher. He says they have a resident, what do you call it? Not a teacher's aide, the other one, substitute. They have a resident substitute teacher at his school, and that person is there every day, even if they don't have to substitute, right? But they don't get any medical coverage. So that person went and got their credentials also, and he's also looking for a job as a teacher, and nothing is open. And so there's quite a few people in Jory's position. Now, Jory can get a job as a teacher like that if he would teach, what do you call it, special needs. But he's a teacher's aide for special needs right now, and he's burnt out. He says, I can't deal with special needs anymore, Mom. Because sometimes it's not even the child, it's the parent. I just can't. That's why he doesn't want to teach kindergarten. He says, I have no issues with kindergartners, but I can't stand their parents. At third grade, the parents don't care no more. Third grade and up, that's what he wants to teach. I think third to seventh. So, yeah, my friend Nisa is the one that told me, do I look blurry to you guys? Because when I don't have my glasses on, I can't see if my eyes are blurry. Do I look blurry? Let me know, and I'll try to adjust the camera. Or holler for Joshua to adjust the camera, because the camera has to pick up on my eyes, and then I can fix it. So I told Jory not to fret. At least he has a job, and the job has full medical coverage, which is always an amazing thing on a job. And I said, God will open the door of opportunity for you, and only for you. It's going to be specific to you. You know, I don't know if a teacher is going to retire, or they're going to, because they need teachers. They just put a freeze on hiring teachers. He doesn't want to go to the Fontana School District. So he has specific needs that he's trying to fill. And I said, just take your time. You still have a job. You're still getting paid. Your wife still has a good job. And everything's going to be okay. Just keep your eye peeled for when these jobs appear, and then you apply for them. You know, so I feel like this guy Walz is going to be good for teachers because he was a teacher and a coach. His wife is a teacher. That's where they met, right? So I'm like, he really checks a lot of boxes. I'm so excited for this ticket. I'm glad it's not that couch humper. They said that story wasn't true, by the way, but I tend to believe it. Okay, I'm glad it's not him. Oh, let's talk about the crazy brain worm man. So did you guys hear the story about the bear? Give me a one if you heard the story about the bear and the crazy man Kennedy. Did you guys hear that story? Because that story broke yesterday, I think, and I was hearing it in my peripheral from my different psychics. That's where I get my news sometimes too. I love my psychics so much. I swear, if they have an event in California, I'm gonna go. Even if it's Northern California, I'm gonna go. I don't know where I'm gonna stay, but I'm gonna go. Okay, so the crazy man Kennedy, and correct me if I'm wrong, this guy RFK is RFK's son, right? He's a junior. That's the one that was president's brother, right? Because the one that was president was John. And then the other one that was a senator who was also running for president was Robert, right? So I think this old man is Robert's son. So he said one time that the doctor picked out one worm out of his brain. Well, everybody kind of laughed at it, but I said he probably ate some bad pork, right? Because they said pork could give you that. Well, I guess there was, I don't know if he wrote a book or if he did an interview where he talked about something with this bear, not bear that you drink, bear the animal. And he ran the story crazy. He said he was on his way to some event, some big highfalutin event too, where I don't know what state it was. And he saw some young girl hit this baby bear on the highway, and the bear, kill it. So the girl kept going. He pulled over, pick up this dead bear, put it in the trunk of his car because later on he was going to skin it and chop it up for food. So this man was going to eat roadkill. That's the first weird thing, right? So then he went to his event with this dead bear in the trunk. Hours he spent there. And then I don't know what you do with it. Something happened with the police. I missed that part of the story. I should have really gone and looked into that before we came live. Something happened with the police, lied to the police, something. But I hear that the bear did not die from being hit by no car. The bear was stabbed. So did this crazy man stab this baby bear? He's right on par with the crazy girl that shot her dog, right? The congresswoman. I'm like, these people they're certifiable crazy. Now his family, the Kennedys, they're worried about him because they know he's crazy. I have a feeling he's going to pull this stunt where he's going to go, I throw in the towel, because he's still running for president. I throw in the towel and I'm going to endorse Trump. All my people who wanted to vote for me will vote for Trump. I told you I saw this young girl, I'm not going to call no names, where she was trying to convince the grandpa to vote for RFK because she thought it was cute. I was like, what the F? You do know that you want to have rights, right? Because you're a girl. So, well, RFK crazy. He is certifiable crazy. Oh, crap. I just remember something. My little niece, our little internet niece, called me today. I wonder how she can call me in the middle of the week. I'm going to call her back after I get through eating. Or I'll text her to see if she can talk. I just remembered that. So Jermaine sent me a text yesterday, right at the same time Jada came in and told me the news. Sherry Shepherd's dog, the Cane Corso, that dog is 13. Sherry Shepherd has had her since she was 6 weeks old. And she fell going down the stairs because she has arthritis and stuff. And she didn't break anything, but she wasn't doing well. And she was back home and they were monitoring her, but she had a high fever. And so there was an infection somewhere. And so we're praying. We feel it especially hard because we just lost our dog 2.5 weeks ago. Sherry Shepherd lost her black lab when she moved to New York 2 years ago to do this show, and now the Cane Corso. And these dogs grew up with Jeffrey. If you think about it, Jeffrey's only 18 or 19, and this dog's 13. So, this dog grew up with Jeffrey. So we're praying that God gives her more time with her baby and that it's quality time, because I would have given anything to have Wednesday longer, but not if she was going to be sick. When we go up that way again by the vet, because Jada can't even look at the vet when she goes by. She goes, I can't look over there, Mom. And I said, but your baby's here and the ashes are here. When we go up that way, I'll pop in and I'll thank them for that beautiful card that they sent for Jada, because that was really nice for them to do that, So they need to know that we got it and that it really blessed us. Yeah, so the Cane Corso is a big girl, but she's protective, man. She's really protective of Jeffrey. So, and the lab, when Sherry Shepherd was leaving California, the lab was sick and she was going to make a decision to put her down. And I don't know what she was sick with. I never asked. But the dog died the night before she had to put her down, So these dogs, we need to figure out a way how to let these dogs live longer. Because they say in the 1970s, the dogs used to live, big dogs like that used to live till they were like 15 or 17. And small dogs used to live to like 25. And now dogs' lives have been chopped in half. And they're saying, oh, it's, the grass that they're eating in the backyard and the poison on the grass. And we don't spray no poison on wheatgrass, right? I feel like it's the food. And I feel like Wednesday and Cora had 6 years of bad food, the dog food. And then we started to cook people food for them. And I feel like if we get another dog from out the gate, we're going to be cooking for that dog, just like how we still cook for Cora. I don't think we're going to move the bed, because honestly, if we move the bed, Joe will find something to put in that spot so that Jada will never have the opportunity to get another dog, because Joe's like, I'm done. And it's not that he hates dogs, because he loves dogs, but Jada, as much as she loves Wednesday and did a lot with her, a lot of the day-to-day burden was left on us. And most of the time I didn't mind. I would say like 95% of the time I didn't mind, but there was that 5% time when I was just like exhausted from trying to figure out what to do next. Sometimes it's not even physically exhausted, it's just mentally exhausted. I'm like, help me. I shouldn't have to ask you to help me, right? So, yeah, we're going to keep them in our prayer. I like my background when I'm sitting here. You guys, what do you think? I just kind of took a look at my background and everything is blurred, that nice bokeh from the camera. I like that. And whatever's going on here, that looks nice too. There's a window here that leads to the porch. So we're just going to keep on moving forward, like what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz say. Move forward. I'm going to keep praying because we can't go back. We can't go back to what we had before with Trump from 2016 to 2020. And I'm grateful for President Biden, even though they forced him out. I really do feel like they forced him out. I'm grateful that he'll be able to take a break and spend time with his beautiful wife and his kids. He has 2 kids, right? His kids and grandkids. And I hope that he has a long, long life of happiness because he did a lot for us, including this, what he did right here, including this, you know? And I'm praying for President Carter. He's going to be 100 in October, and he's praying to live long enough to vote for Kamala. I hope he gets to vote early. In Georgia, I think you get to vote a little bit early. See, you understand, Kathy. And like I said, Jada is not negligent. She wasn't negligent with her dog. And she bathed her, clipped her nails. Joshua took her on walks. They did a lot of activity with her and stuff. But when it came to the feeding part, once I started to cook, and I started to cook for them during the pandemic because of the fact that the dog got so fat. And we never had a fat dog before, so we didn't know what the hell happened till we saw on the video camera, because she's very docile. She's not aggressive. So we didn't think she was the top dog. She was the top dog between these two. When Cora first came, Cora was way bigger than her. Cora was 10 months and that dog was 3 months. So Cora was the top dog. Well, the other dog, the Rottweiler, was the top dog. And then the Rottweiler died and Cora took over as top dog. So we just figured Cora is the top dog, right? Little did we know it was Wednesday because she was guarding both bowls of food and she would eat both because she's a lab. That's all they do is eat, right? And she got fatter and Cora got skinnier, and we didn't notice Cora was that skinny because she has so much fur. So when we bathed her one, it was, what the hell? And so we started to cook and feed him so I would know exactly what they got. And I put Wednesday on a diet, and I brought her down from 135 to 83 pounds. That's the lowest she was. She needed to get to 77 for a female lab. And I was so proud that we could do that for her. So we gave her a good quality of life. And it was the past 2 months before she died that Jory would visit, and Jory would, rub her chest, and Jory was, Mom, why is she getting fat again in here? Are you overfeeding her? I'm like, no. Is Jada feeding her in between? I'm like, no, nobody's overfeeding the dog. It was that thing growing in her. You know what I mean? It's not distracting, right? Yeah, so I already told Jada, I said, if you're going to get another dog in the near future, you're going to have your money set aside for her shots. It's always going to be a girl. We only like girl dogs. You're going to have the money set aside for the surgery because you know if they're going to give a discount. They have different organization that gives you a voucher for $50, but the surgery always comes to like 80 to 100, so you still need to put the difference, right? And then you're going to also have to help me. I don't mind cooking the food. Daddy doesn't mind cooking the food. But if you're home and you see that I'm busy at 5 o'clock doing a live, doing something to run my business, get out your room and go feed the dog. Don't just assume. And she goes, okay, I'm going to do better. But she's not looking. She's not looking. I conjured up that dog for Jada. She always tells people I did that because when we lost the first dog, Willow, she was only 3 years old when she got hit by the car. I knew that Jada would not recover from that grieving because it was such a sudden, drastic death. And we had to see her body on the way to church, right? We had to come back and get Joe to come bring her home, whatever. So I knew she would need another dog. And I searched. And I always say I found her on Facebook Marketplace, but no, Jada said that Facebook Marketplace didn't exist. It was on Craigslist. And we found her, and we drove up to Hesperia to get her. And that's it. That was Jada's baby from that point. But now because she had 10 beautiful years with Winnie, I think she's not in a rush because she's not like, no, I don't want to abandon Winnie already. That's my sweet baby. I miss her. So I think she's probably going to wait for her birthday in December and then like kind of start to look around like, were there any dogs born on my birthday? I think she's kind of looking for one that was born on her birthday. That's all the way in December. Of course, she says, like, if somebody pops up to her, like one of her friends, and says, "Hey, Jada, my cousin so and so, they had a litter, and I really feel like you need to go take a look at this one puppy because I feel like that's your puppy," she will go look. That's in the future, she says. She says, but she's not going to be scouring the internet looking to see who had a litter and who's giving it away. If she goes to Walmart, there's somebody over there with a box of puppies and one happened to strike her fancy, that's how she'll get one. But she's not looking, okay? Yeah, I was like so glad to do that for Wednesday. And that's when I did my own eating plan. Remember when I went to Kaiser and did my own eating plan and lost all that weight in 2021? And I haven't gained back all that weight, but I gained back some. And I'm constantly trying to lose the amount that I gained back and then start from where I was to continue losing. But I told her ever since Winnie died that I'm going to stay focused on what I need to do. That's why I'm like counting my calories. I don't like going to, what's the one called? Weight Watchers? Weight Watchers is a really good program, but Weight Watchers is just like Jenny Craig. It's about counting calories, but they do it a little bit differently with those points, right? And they give you that calculator and you know how many points, yada, yada. And sometimes you can eat empty points that don't give you no nutritional value and you'll still lose because you stayed within the points, which is the calories. And but the thing with Weight Watchers is it doesn't work for me because I don't buy food on the street. So like if I was buying Popeyes and Arby's and Domino's and all that bull crap, right? Or even boxed things from Costco, right? Chimichanga in a box or whatever. If I were buying those type of things, I could see right away what the points are. But because I cook my own stuff from scratch, I could never figure out the points. And so Weight Watchers was very frustrating to me. And I did not like going to the meetings. I feel like the meetings are long and boring. Now, I did Jenny Craig before. That heifer is expensive, but you lose weight. I lost like probably 50 pounds in 4 months on Jenny Craig because you starve. You starve. I'm not doing the fasting. Well, I'm kinda Miss Lucky because I stopped eating at 5 and I don't eat the next day till around 8 or 9. So that much I'm fasting, right? I'll drink water, but I won't eat. So, but I'm not doing that where you stop at 5 and don't eat anything till noon the next day because I find that when I eat, I tend to overeat. That one meal, like I can't stop. I tend to overeat, then I feel sick for the rest of the day. Then by nightfall, then I'm okay again. So I am fasting from 5 in the evening till about 8, 9. And some most of the time I eat breakfast around 9. So the only time I'll eat breakfast like around 8 is if we're gonna go on a walk or a bike ride and I feel kind of sick in my stomach already. If I'm nauseous, I'll eat something. So I don't want to get sick out there, right? I took all the potable to the homeless today, and I didn't see my guy Lorenzo out there or the Belize guy Aaron, and so I gave it to this black lady around by the library. And when I came back, she had shared it with a bunch of them around there, so they were all eating. That made me feel good. So when I make like bread again, I'll slice it up since I have my good bread slicer, and I'll take it down there. I can't be making like dinners, but I could take breads and stuff like that to them. So I'm just counting the calories. And I'm not like writing it down or nothing, but I know, okay, this breakfast is 250, this breakfast is 350. Which one am I going to eat today? Did I go ride? No, I couldn't finish my ride today because I got that flat tire. I can't walk this evening because it's 107. It's probably going to be 90 degrees at 9 tonight, so I can't walk this evening. And I don't even want to exert myself by like walking in place in front of the TV. We're just going to skip that workout today. We're just going to skip it today, guys. So, and on my little birthday wish list, I have all small ticket items. And I've told my children, these are all things I need. So don't think, oh my God, I don't want to buy mommy a nail polish. I don't want to buy mommy a lipstick. Why? Right? These are things that I need. So buy it. So I don't have to buy it. That's not bad though. Kathy, you only gave back 50 in 6 years? You miss what, wine? See, I'll never get fat off of alcohol because I don't drink no damn alcohol. I get fat off of niceties. Pota bun, bread, black cake. I have black cake right on there for my birthday and I didn't cut it yet. And Joe didn't remember that I had it. And Joe's like, wait a minute. didn't you make black cake the other day? I said, that's for my birthday. Leave it alone. But that's a big cake. I could cut it now. I'm like, yeah, but it's for my birthday. I don't want him to cut it because I'll have to eat a piece. Keto is the only thing that will work because it makes you burn the fat that's on the body. But the thing that I personally don't like about keto for me is that it affects my hair. I start losing my hair. My hair is already thin. It affects my skin. My skin get dry. It don't look vibrant like this, right? Oh, I love that Banish thing that I'm using, and I beg them for a kit. So let's see if they'll give me. And it also affects my emotional state. I get really depressed because it wasn't called keto back then. It was called Atkins, which is essentially keto. And I did it for 14 months, and I lost 100 pounds in that 14 months. And I just can't. I can't. I could do it for like one day, and after that, my mouth starts to taste bad, and I'm done. Girl, I'm telling you, my downfall is stuff like chips. But Joshua thinks I do well with chips because he says, Mom, you never binge. He'll buy a pack of chips, and I'll literally take 4 or 5 and just really enjoy the hell out of it, and I'm done. He'll come back next day and go, you want a little bit more? I'm like, no, I'm good. And I want it. It's not that I don't want it, but I don't want to indulge. And then when it comes to soda, we don't even buy soda in the house anymore unless we're having a gathering. And then we figure the people coming might want soda, and Joe will get like 2 of the 2-liter bottles, like a 7 Up and a Coke, or a Sprite and a Coke. And we have ginger ale, the small one, the one with 90 calories. We have that on hand all the time, like a 6 pack, because sometimes in the middle of the, well, not in the middle of the night, like when I go lay down at 11 o'clock, that's when all my indigestion stuff will come up, not heartburn, but just like this nausea and gas. And especially if I've had onion and all the stuff that triggers me off, right? Or even ketchup. Ketchup has that sugar in it that gives you gas, right? I will have to go drink. And sometimes I'll drink half of it and give Joshua the next half just to not get all that sugar and calories in me. But most of the time I try to do the gas X first before I go to the ginger ale. The ginger ale is when I'm really nauseous, where I lay down and I just feel like I'm gonna barf because it's so bad. But you know what, Kathy? Let's talk about that for a second. It's another Trini person that told me this. And they said that when we were little growing up, in Belize and stuff, we ate that food all the time. We ate rice and beans, stew chicken, potato salad, no vegetables, right? The vegetables is a little bit of cut up onion and some tomato and some habanero pepper. And we never got fat. Although I did. I got fat from the time I was 10, but I used to eat a lot of candy back in the days. But most people didn't get fat. And people say, well, it's because they walked everywhere, which that's a part of it too, right? Most people walked everywhere nowadays. Everybody have car, bike, whatever. But they're saying that rice and beans on a whole is very, very good for you because rice is a seed and beans is a legume. And these things are very, very good for you. I think where it becomes bad for us is when we're not moving and when we're eating a ton load of it. Most people will not serve a third cup of rice and beans. They'll serve, like when I go to backyard party, weddings, whatever. Every time they serve the food that Belize people make it, they give you one little piece of leg. I hate leg. I hate chicken leg with a passion. I can tolerate thighs. I don't like thighs either, but I could tolerate it. But when I go to party and they give me leg, I feel insulted. I'm like, God, give me a wing, give me a thigh, give me something. Don't give me this damn leg. So they'll give you one little piece of leg that they chopped in two, a ton of rice and beans, one leaf dollop of potato salad, and that's it. So when I go to parties and they're serving the food, I'm like, can you give me less rice and beans, a little bit more of the salad, and more meat? More meat. Um, Mostly Guyanese veg dishes instead of meat dishes. Yeah. How about low carb tortillas and make your own chips with guacamole or salsa? Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome right there. Um, I did a diet before that's called the Wheat Belly Plan or something like that. I still have the book in the garage. And honestly, secretly, low key, that's what I truly feel in my heart, what that book said, right? But I can't do it. I did it for a while and I just can't get back on board. But it's not that I don't believe it. In that book, the doctor said that we human beings are not made to eat grains. That grains started back in olden days when they had famine and stuff. and they noticed that animals were eating the grains. You know, the cow has four stomach, they chew, they cud, whatever. And people said, the animals are eating the grains and stuff, and they're living, so I guess we need to be eating that. And that's how humans started to eat grains. But humans were never meant to eat grains. It was always going to be meat, vegetables, and fruit. And grains came in somewhere, and they're saying grains are not good for us. And low key, I don't want no arguments. So don't come into my chat if somebody comes afterwards and go, you wrong because yeah. Girl, I'm not even trying to tell you I'm right. I'm saying low key, I believe that book. But mothers, when you start to eat grain free, your brain start to clear up. You start to see things very clearly, right? You start to feel lighter and more energetic and all type of stuff. That is until you get some grain in you through some kind of seasoning, because a lot of seasoning have grain in it. See? Now, I like some vegan food, Myrna. I like some vegan food, but I can't go straight up vegan. Once you start to take something away from me, that's exactly when I want it. So I know I can't do it, and I'm not going to eat their fake vegan meat. Their Satan, all their foolishness. I'm not going to eat those. I'd rather not eat no meat at all than to eat those fake things. Hazel said the food change. Most of it is GMO. It's true, genetically modified, and we don't move the way we used to move. Also, we ate out our heavy meals at noon. For real, we still do that, Hazel. That's the one thing we did not give up as Belizeans. We still eat our heavy meal at noon, and we eat something lighter in the evening. We've really been good at that. I'm so proud of Joe's stats today. His blood pressure 73 for the bottom number. Maras, I'm telling you that the jicama, when I tell the nurse, because it's just like, man, your blood pressure has been doing well for like 2-3 years. And I said, yeah, it's that, not the jicama, the Jamaica. I said, it's the Jamaica. He drinks it 14 days out of the month, and then he rests for 14 days. I swear. Hi, B. I was going to have you hold on to 40 if I didn't get back in time, girl. But Joe has to go for the ultrasound in the morning at 8:30, but he going to go for that by himself because I can't go back there with him, when they get the process done, I don't think. And I don't want to just sit there and wait in a waiting room. He's going to go get that done and then come right back, and then we're going to wait for the report from the doctor. Sometimes they come back quick with the report. Hey, we've been here an hour. Remember, we have to conserve because we get 20 hours on this account for the month, and then that's 20 days. The month have 31 days, right? What were they now? August? Yeah. So then we're going to have to go to the other account for the next amount of hours. And that account was supposed to renew on the 5th. And when I went in there, it didn't renew yet. I don't know if it renews like later at night or something. Yeah, he's been doing really good. Now, Kathy, I'd like to know more about that. Maybe we could talk about that tomorrow. Maybe we could do a health conversation tomorrow. Kathy said she's been drinking that rice mushroom thing. I need to know if that thing tastes like coffee. Kathy, does that thing taste like coffee? I'll put my number in the thing too. I'll put my Google number in the thing so Kathy can text me. I know you're probably still driving, right? 333-6215, area code 909. I see that thing all over my feed, and I showed Joe, and Joe is interested because he loves coffee. I don't like the smell of coffee. Sarita, you gone? Look at my baby. Okay, let's see. Also, high fructose corn syrup is everything I cut out. Yeah, and everything having high. When we were looking for my favorite cereal, and Joe was trying to get me something close to it, I'm like, no, that have sugar. You gonna have that, baby?
Sweet.
I mean, I'm giving you permission without asking Daddy, but I don't think Daddy cares. How your mac and cheese come out?
Yeah, it tastes good.
It's good? Okay. I need to eat something. I think I'll probably eat peanut butter and something. Let's see. I'm scrolling back, Sarah, to see. Miss Lucky, thank you so much for working so hard tonight. I'm scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss anything somebody said. Sarita, I see what you say. Sarita said, great job, Barbara. I love the variety of topics. Great journalism skills. Yes, girl. Yes. Thank you, Sar. Sarah's always trying to give me ideas of what to do next. Hey, I hear say Myrna say cat live long because he eat a lot of peanuts. But me here say peanuts no good for you. I don't know. I don't know what to believe anymore. They say peanuts is a legume. It's not really a nut, and it's not good for you. But I like peanuts though. But I can't eat a lot because I have that diverticulosis thing. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I need to figure out a way to like get higher with my monitor so I can like be eye level with the monitor and you guys. Maybe I could just look off to that for the monitor. Yeah, keto is hard on the kidneys. Yeah, it is. Better than chicken foot. God, Kathy, I hate chicken foot. When I'm small and they give me the chicken foot, I cry. I'm like, I don't want the hand. I don't want the hand. Don't give me the hand. Then my uncle wife, they live in the back house and she couldn't cook, right? Her food bland, but it's cooked all the way through. And my uncle didn't like to eat her food because it had no flavor. And she left back there with a whole chicken. I used to go back there and eat a big ass chicken breast. I'm like, I don't care if this thing bland. I can eat chicken. Mm-hmm. Let me see. So, B, before we leave, what do you feel about the ticket? B texted me right away this morning. B was like, Sarita, you know what happened, right? You know who he picked, right? The guy Walz. It does not taste like coffee. What does it taste like? Oh, let me get rid of Sarita's comment. What does it taste like, Mama? Kathy, what does it taste like? Because look, they said I think good for you. A lot of people lose weight. Do you lose weight on it? Because look at me, I buy that thing, you know. I'm glad to hear it doesn't taste like coffee. Because they're calling it, don't they call it like rice coffee? Girl, that thing come up on my Instagram all the time. I'm getting a lot of offer again from different people for Bear Pantry Talk. But then people just want to give me the stuff for free and they want a whole video. We talked it yesterday, right, B? I'm telling you, we don't need no damn cards. We have our intuition, our discernment. Girl, me and B, me and Cora like, shut up. Cora's like, Cora's going, mud water, but it's good for you. Is that something different than the rice? Girl, I'm gonna go look up the rice now. I'm gonna go look up the rice. I'm gonna eat something, feed Cora, get on the couch in front of the fan, and I'm gonna look up the rice. Because I want to get rid of digestive issues. I'll be fine all day, right? I'm not eating no junk. I'm behaving like a good little girl. And then all of a sudden, when night come and I go lay down, that's when I say, Lord. And then my dumb backside, we got a bed that come up, right? Right? What do you call again? The mechanical bed or whatever. Why did I think me and Joe sleep the same way? I should have gotten the split mattress. But I didn't want the split mattress because a lot of the times when I start off the night to go to sleep, I always go and lay down on, on Joe's. That's why I can't lay on his shoulder now. Lay on Joe's shoulder. We talk a little bit, watch whatever he need, watch on TV, joke, whatever. And then afterwards, he'll turn over to go to sleep, and I'll turn over to go to sleep. And I'm always in the middle of the bed till I go to my spot, right? Because we have a king size bed. I'm like, no, I'm going to fall into that crack. I don't want the mattress split. So now the mattress is not split. And whatever I do, Joe have to do. And Joe don't like the bed to be up even a little bit. Although he suffered for 2 years when I had the vertigo and I had to have the bed up slightly, he slept that way for 2 years unpunished because he don't like it like that. Because that's how I could sleep without having dizzy spells, Myrna said fresh roasted or dry roasted peanuts are good for lowering cholesterol. Eat a handful every day. You ordered your cards? Oh my God. We're going to learn together. We're going to learn together. Pretty soon we're going to be reading everybody in this room. Child. Okay, Hazel say, remember we had talked about the story yesterday? That the girl Diane Rakenya was stabbed by her boyfriend's brother and another man. Why? Did we hear why? You got your lapis azul bracelet, okay? Girl, we don't know how to do it though, Miss Loki. We would have to learn. And I need for Brenda help me learn because I don't got time. I'm over here trying to make videos. Oh, there's one thing that I didn't like though. When I'm watching the card readers, I don't really like when they're reading for regular people. I like when they're reading celebrities and politics and stuff like that. I don't like when they're I'm like, you know, I have a she problem. Just move on to somebody else. Mm-mm-mm. Hazel, did anybody say why the boyfriend Bretta and the next man stabbed the poor girl? Is she gonna make it? Did they take away all her beauty? Cause the girl pretty, man. Stab up the pretty girl like that. Man, that's wicked. Jesus. Why so expensive, Kathy? Kathy said it's a subscription, but you can skip a month, so she get 2 bags every other month for 54 versus 72. Jesus, why? You like to watch. See, I don't like to watch other people get red. It's boring to me. You know what I have over their problems? You know what I have if they want to get money. I want to have if I get money. Ay, 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 ay. $54 every 2 months if you trick the system. That's a 20 something. Lord have mercy, that's expensive. Oh God. Oh God. She got one of them Pookie. They robbed her of three. So okay. So the boyfriend tell the brother that the girl got money. The boyfriend in that too. Look, I don't even need to throw no cards. The boyfriend in I don't know how to throw no damn card, you know. The boyfriend in that too. I should get my card read. Never had it done. I had it done by a lady at the beach, and she was pretty good. But you have to remember that those things are for entertainment purposes only. Don't get suckered into those things to where, you have to go all the time and get ready. It's for entertainment purposes only. You know. Thanks to Sluggy. That boyfriend was in on that damn stabbing and robbery because how they know this girl got $3,000 per hour for rob she stabbed up the poor girl. That boyfriend did it. He don't did it. You think I gonna visit anybody in the prison? I tell you, one time one of Joe's brother went to prison and we visited him for 18 months nonstop till he got deported. And my mom said, "What the hell you to do that prison? You don't got no family in there." So she had a bouquet. A bouquet. All right, guys. Let's wrap it up before we can go live. When StreamYard said you need to get on another account. Thanks for coming in, guys. I love this because I'm learning a lot, especially about nutrition, and I can share what I know. And maybe we'll do like a nutrition one tomorrow, okay? Miss Lucky, thank you for working so hard. B, thanks for coming in. And everybody that comes in later, Christine, Carl, everybody that sees it later, give it a thumbs up when you see it. We're going to get this thing off the ground. We're going to start getting views. We don't need to tag nobody with for drama. We're just going to be back here in this back alley and get this stuff done, all right? Bye, guys. I love you all. Try to end the stream.